Hey guys, welcome back to another YouTube video by SMARTPATHTUTORING. This one's on an inspector calls, specifically on social responsibility. The ideological clash. The play is structured as a debate between two opposing philosophies. The concept. Philosophy is a concept of individualism. Birling, a man has to look after himself. View of community is nonsense or bees in a hive. The view of responsibility is limited to legal and status obligations. Key quotes and grade 9 analysis. The bees in a hive speech, Act 1. As if we were all mixed up together like bees in a hive, community and all that nonsense. The analysis. Birling uses a derogatory simile here. By comparing humans to bees, he suggests that collective living is mindless or subhuman. He views independence as a sign of success and community as a sign of weakness. Structural note. This is the exact moment the doorbell rings. The inspector's arrival is a structural interruption of this ideology. The socialist knock literally shatters the capitalist silence. The members of one body. Sermon, Act 3. We don't live alone. We are members of one body. We are responsible for each other. The analysis. The inspector uses the language of Christian liturgy, specifically the communion. This elevates the theme from a political argument to a moral one. Grade 9 interpretation would be that Priestley is telling the 1945 audience that socialism is the true Christianity. If you reject social responsibility, you are rejecting a divine moral law. The fire, blood and anguish warning, Act 3. If men will not learn that lesson, then they will be taught it in fire, blood and anguish. The analysis of this quote is that this is the ultimate use of dramatic irony. The 1945 audience had just lived through 2 world wars, the literal fire and blood. The big idea. Priestley is arguing that World War I and II were the direct result of the Birling's worldview. If we go back to looking after ourselves, the cycle of war will repeat. Characters as degrees of responsibility. Each character represents a different level of acceptance regarding this theme. Sheila and Eric, the converts, they move from a state of complacent happiness to total moral conversion. They represent the famous younger generation who Priestley hoped would build the post-war welfare state. Arthur and Sybil, the static, they never accept responsibility. They only care about scandal, the legal external, rather than guilt, the internal. They represent the old guard that must be replaced. Gerald, the tragic middle. Gerald is the most dangerous. He has a hero complex, helping Daisy, but he doesn't want to change the system. He just wants to enjoy the benefits of his class while performing kind acts. He represents the status quo. The grade 9 paragraph, intent and effect. Priestley utilizes the theme of social responsibility as a didactic weapon to dismantle the hard-headed individualism of the Edwardian era. Through the inspector's final apocalyptic monologue, the play transcends its whodunit structure and becomes a socialist polemic. By utilizing the metaphor of one body, Priestley highlights the interconnectivity of the human experience, suggesting that the Birling's sacrilegious treatment of Eva Smith is not merely a private error, but a betrayal of the community. The juxtaposition between Birling's dismissal of community and the inspector's warning of fire and blood serves as a stark ultimatum for the 1945 audience to embrace collective care or face the recurring cycle of global catastrophe. Contextual link. The birth of the NHS, 1945. When the play was written in 1945, Britain was debating the creation of the welfare state. The link. The inspector is essentially the welfare state in human form. He arrives to tell the rich that they can no longer treat the poor as cheap labor. They must be responsible for their health, their safety, and their dignity. That's it for this video. Hope you enjoyed. Don't forget to like and subscribe.